This is Lab 23, Example 5. We want to determine whether k is a zero of f of x. We have f of x is equal to x cubed minus 5x squared plus 17x minus 13, and k is equal to 2 plus 3i. This is a complex number. So we're going to do this using synthetic division and the remainder theorem. So getting into the synthetic division, we're going to write down all of our coefficients in a line. So we have 1, negative 5, 17, negative 13, and we have our k is 2 plus 3i, so we're going to write that over here, 2 plus 3i. So we're always going to bring down our first number here, and then we're going to take this number and multiply it by this number. So 1 times 2 plus 3i is just 2 plus 3i. When we add a real number to a complex number, we add the real parts to the real parts and carry the imaginary parts to the imaginary parts. So negative 5 plus 2 is going to give us negative 3, and then we just carry the 3i. So we have negative 3 plus 3i, and we're going to take this and multiply it by 2 plus 3i. So we have negative 3 plus 3i times 2 plus 3i. I will show how to do this for just this one bit. So we're going to use the FOIL method. So we have negative 3 times 2 is going to be negative 6. And we have negative 3 times positive 3i. That's going to give us negative 9i. And we have 3i times 2. That's positive 6i. And then we have 3i times 3i, so that's positive 9i squared. Now I squared, so remember that I is equal to the square root of negative 1, and if we square it, then the square of a square root is just itself, so this is just going to equal negative 1. So this is equal to negative 6, and if we simplify this middle part, negative 9i plus 6i is going to give us negative 3i, and then we have plus 9, and then I squared is negative 1. So this is negative 6 minus 3i minus 9 essentially, which is going to give us negative 15 if we add these two numbers together, minus 3i. So we know that the number that goes here is negative 15 minus 3i. And this is the same way that you'll always multiply your complex numbers together. You always have to FOIL them, just like this. So this is negative 15 minus 3i. Adding this together, 17 minus 15 is going to give us 2, and then we just carry the negative 3i. And then if we multiply 2 plus 3i times 2 minus 3i, those two things are conjugates. So we know that the imaginary part will actually cancel, and if you multiply them together, just like we did here, you'll get positive 13. Negative 13 plus 13 is 0. This is the remainder. And because our remainder is 0, we know that k is a 0 of f of x.